Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everyone. I am Rehana Ali Naqvi, serving as lecturer in Department of Economics at University of 𝐸. It's a privilege to be the part of this academic platform dedicated to fostering knowledge, innovation, and inclusive development. It's my honor to extend a warm welcome to our worthy Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Jameel Naqvi, Registrar, University of 𝐸, Brigadier Shajiullah Qadri Amin, Director Audit, Dr. Amjad Hassan, respected deans, faculty members, and all distinguished participants and guests joining us today. This workshop is conducted under the Chief Minister Punjab Female Ambassador Program in collaboration with Women Development Department, University of 𝐸. We deeply appreciate this visionary initiative by the Government of Punjab, which empowers young women to lead in academia, research, and international dialogue. The program plays a vital role in promoting gender-inclusive development and strengthening Pakistan's global partnership. We are privileged to have with us today our esteemed guest speakers, Ms. Mahnoor Salman, AI Specialist, Power Planning and Monitoring Company, Ministry of Energy Power Division. Mr. Ghulam Shabir, Policy, Governance and Digital Transformation Expert, and Dr. Irfan Hussain Khan, Founder, Pakistan Economic Frontier. We look forward to their valuable insights today. With this, I now formally hand over the session to our focal person, Dr. Asma Arif, to proceed with the workshop. Dr. Asma, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rehana Ali Naqvi.
Yes, welcome.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everyone. On behalf of the Women Development Department, University of 𝐸, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our esteemed guest speakers, Mr. Ghulam Shabir, Mahnoor Salman, and Dr. Irfan Hussain Khan, to all distinguished guests and to our valued participation. We are truly honored to have you all here with us for today's workshop. This workshop is being conducted under the initiative of the Chief Minister of the Punjab Female Ambassador Program, Women Development Department, as a part of the continued efforts to promote gender-inclusive participation in academia and economic development. Before proceeding formally, I also would like to express my sincere gratitude to the Chief Minister of the Punjab and the Government of Punjab for making this session possible. I would especially like to thank Pakistan Economic Frontier for their collaboration with the University of 𝐸 in organizing this event. Today's session will focus on key sustainable development goals like gender equality, economic growth, sustainability, and strategic partnership. We hope this workshop will serve as a meaningful platform for discussion, learning, and collaboration to empower women in entrepreneurship and the research. And at the start of our session, and one member from the International Business and Management has already provided us a welcome note for the further collaboration with the institutes of the Sindh and Karachi. So I think this workshop is very much valuable for the strengthening of our ties, not only within the province, but also across the provinces of Pakistan. So with this, we formally begins today's session. Thank you very much for joining us. We warmly welcome you in the University of 𝐸. First of all, I would like to invite my first guest speaker, Ms. Mahnoor Salman, and she is serving as a AI specialist in the power planning and monitoring capacity at the Ministry of Energy, under the Ministry of the Energy Power Division.
Thank you.
Ms. Mahnoor, we all are observing that nowadays world is in a quick transformation. Even we ourselves are feeling more like a robot. We want change just with a single click. But
Yes.
The problem is we are human beings and we are not free from errors. So
Yes.
because you are an AI specialist, so my question with you would be that many organizations are excited about AI, but they are struggling with the implementations. So what do you think, what are the biggest reasons? What are the biggest reasons companies fail to move from the AI hype to real AI capability?
Okay.
Ms. Mahnoor.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would just want to know that I hope my voice is clear.
Yes, your voice is
Oh,
very much clear.
okay. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the University of Bath for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to be here. And, whenever it's about gender equality, women, I am a big proponent to it. So yes, we are seeing many organizations, they are trying to implement AI as a technology project. But when we come down the lane into 2 to 3 to 6 months, we understand that it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So organizations are getting subscriptions, they're making tools, they're conducting trainings, but we're not seeing that the impact of it. So for me, in my personal experience, I have identified three main gaps or four. So the third and fourth can be combined. And the first one is definitely weak problem definition. Organizations do not understand whether this problem or use case can be automated or it can have AI or not. So you need to understand rather than going that we want AI, we want to understand which process can be automated with AI. And then when we come to, if we have identified what the problem is, then we have to understand whether we have the data available for it or not. Because whether we like it or not, if your data is of poor quality, your outcome is going to definitely not be of that standard that you want. And then when we see that there is a weak problem definition, we do not have the ready for it, and then there's a lack of ownership. So we understand whenever we're talking about AI, whenever we're talking about technology, the only ownership should be with the IT department. But for me, it is going to be a co-ownership between the IT, definitely the people who are building the tool, and then the people who actually want to use the tool. So you have to redesign the whole process flow, keeping in mind the people who have to use it. So I think it's more of a change management problem that we have to tackle, in which we have to understand which problem we have to solve. We have to be very clear on it. Then the IT team comes and they can tell you whether you have the data to support this decision making, and then who is going to be the ultimate owner. Because if you have a tool and you just give it to the teams and then you can use it, and there is no ownership of the results or whatever that is coming as an output. So I think that we have to take it from the AI excitement phase, that we're very excited to have the tool, then to actually develop the capability. So that's it from mine.
Okay. So, Manur, what do you think? So, how can organization identify the right areas where AI can create measurable impact?
Okay. So there are a few checklist items that you have to mark it in order to identify whether this problem can be solved or it should be solved with AI. So the first one is definitely whether you have the data available or not. So there's one problem that you have to solve with AI, but if you do not have the data to train the AI with, you have to take a step back and see how to collect that data. So if you have the data ready, the second step will be which decisions are frequently repeated. So you have to see in all of the decisions or the workflow in organizations, which decisions that are frequently being made and they're frequently being repeated. So when we have a higher frequency, we have the data to support it, you can potentially automate it. And then the last one and the most important one is that how you can actually measure the improvement. So if you're able to tangibly measure that what the ROI can be, whether in terms of reduced manual labor, reduced man hours, or even improving of accuracy. If you have all of these checklists, then you can see if, and definitely the capability of the IT team, but I'm not keeping that in mind. Yes, please.
Manur, now I would like to ask question related to some developing country. Because all of us know that Pakistan is in a developing state, and in big cities infrastructure is available to some extent, but still we have areas where even we have no internet access and
Yes.
not even basic necessities. In the last few days, I have attended some conference seminars, and there was a discussion that, for example, if we engage robots for the hospitals for operation. So if a human being is behind the operation, if the skin is sensitive, and we would immediately stop the operation and we would apply alternative strategies. But if a robot is behind the operation, he's just working on the command. So if we discuss about the developing country, what do you think? So, being an AI specialist, what does a successful AI transformation strategy look like for developing country like Pakistan, where some parts are developed and where some parts are underdeveloped?
I think that's a very pertinent question. And although we are seeing a hype of AI all around the world, we have to understand that unfortunately there are some constraints in Pakistan whenever we talk about AI transformation, AI implementation. So the first one is fragmented data. Even if we talk about your example, hospitals, some hospitals, when we talk about the private sector, they have a lot of good quality data because that's how their infrastructure was built. But if you talk about the public sector, even there's a disparity in the provinces. Maybe in Punjab, in some hospitals, you have a good data, which can be used for training purposes. But you cannot have that assumption that Punjab, maybe for example, I'm talking about Upper Punjab. So Upper Punjab hospital data can be generalized across the sector. So you cannot do that. And then we also have limited digital infrastructure. We have affordability issues. We have low institutional readiness even. So we have even regulatory gaps. So keeping in mind these constraints that we have, rather than going for an overall system overhaul, what we can do is we should first identify what are sector specific priorities. So, for example, in the education sector, it can be, we are going to give remote education to many people in a very hyper personalized way. Because you have to be very specific to the sector and the region that you are. Because for some, it will mean higher productivity. For some, it will be meaning improved transparency, improved service quality. Then we have to do capacity building at all levels, at decision maker level, at people who are actually building the solutions, and then people who are actually going to use the solutions. Because they need to move beyond the word AI and actually know what it means. Then we have to talk about data governance. Yes, we are having our first AI policy, and it's going to do, I think, wonders for the years ahead. And we have to actually institutionalize all the pillars that we have. So policies come and go. The main, I think, the bottleneck is definitely how we are going to get it implemented and how fast. And then one more thing that I would want to emphasize on, and that is local problem solving. So people take inspiration from multiple different countries which have a different dynamics in Pakistan. So if you pick a very local problem and then you try to see how AI can help you solve it, like the word here is help, not just completely replace it. I think for the completely replacement, there's still some time to go. So if you pick sector-specific priorities, you do problem solving, we have readiness from the regulatory sector. We have the government of Pakistan is definitely doing a lot to support this ecosystem. So I think we will be geared towards an ecosystem where AI adoption is comparatively faster and effective.
Yeah, it's a very good answer, Mahanur. I totally agree with you. So, Mahanur, I have also a very sensitive question. Nowadays, employees of all over Pakistan, even all the companies, all the universities, think that AI is going to, and there are frequent discussion on this, that the AI is going to replace all the teacher and all the employees, and they have a fear in their mind. Even the students can get better lectures as compared to teachers are delivering in the classroom. So how do you think so? How can institutions ensure the AI adoption improves productivity without creating a fear among employees?
Okay. So I think that fear of being unemployed or not getting a job is at all levels. Graduates, they are having this fear. People already in the market, they have this fear that maybe AI will come and replace me in the next 2 months. So I think as a replacement, we should see it more of you getting your own personal assistant. So for example, if you spend the whole day creating one single spreadsheet or just doing same repetitive work, which could have been utilized in more effective manner, where you could have generated insights, where you're doing decision makings, we should tell people that this is just like another tool. I will give you one example. When the calculators came, mathematicians were of the apprehension that they are going to be replaced. But what happened? If you want to do a very complex mathematical problem solving, rather than doing it by hand on the paper, if you have a calculator to support you, it will make your life easier. So you will have, you will not get frustrated of doing the same redundant, boring work. So at an employee level, what we should tell them is that we are just handing you a technology which is going to help you or assist you in what is your pain point. And in fact, an effective strategy at an organizational level, because I do these trainings as well, is that you involve the employees in the process. You ask them, what is your biggest pain point? You ask them what is your biggest pain point, how you would want AI to help you. And then when you offer them these tools, when you offer them these workflow redesigns, they will be much more receptive to change as compared to when a leadership is telling that this is the tool, they will do your work for you. So I think
Hmm.
it's again a change management strategy because you cannot work without employees. They are definitely your greatest asset.
Hmm. Mahanur, uh, I'm totally agree with you. Uh, Here, I will go one step higher. Mahanur, in China and even all the developed countries, almost all industries are using AI-driven technology. I give some examples. Like, for example, in driverless cars, they are using AI-driven technology, even in the hybrid cars. So, as far as the Pakistan is concerned, it is underdeveloping country. As an AI specialist, what do you think? So, what industries in Pakistan are more suitable for and ready for the AI-driven transformation?
Okay. So so it all comes down to a lot of organizations, if they're doing good, they have the ability to hire good resources to develop AI products and even import the infrastructure that is required. But the fundamental building block of AI or AI transformation is definitely going to be the data readiness. So in Pakistan, few of the industries they are having better data readiness as compared to the others. So I used to do these AI trainings for the banking sector, the telco sector, even the energy sector. So we also have the manufacturing to some extent, but telcos, banks, and the energy sector, they have a vast amount of data ready to be utilized. And apart from that, in the manufacturing sector, there are few use cases. For example, we have the health safety one, we have the quality, predictive maintenance. So if I narrow it down, it will be definitely the banking on top. Then we will have the telco. Then we will have the energy domain or energy industry that we have, and manufacturing industry to some extent because they have the data ready to be utilized for the AI tools.
Hmm. So, Mahanur, as the Pakistan is initial stages of AI learning, and it's a developing state, so as in the initial stages of the transformation, what are the most important, do you think, so AI related skills students and professionals should learn in the universities?
Okay. So the priority. So whenever we talk about anyone who wants to learn these skills, there are two main categories. So first are the people who are the first are the people who are having technical background. So if you are having a technical or programming background, definitely you should learn AI development still.
Hmm.
So we have the generative AI, we have the agentic AI framework. So learn that because that's what the industry is looking for. If you are a non-tech person with not having a degree in bachelor's in maybe computer science or engineering or even maths, you need to understand that data literacy is going to be the next fundamental skill set, just like we had computer literacy, your ability to work on a computer. So now your ability to understand data, what it means, how you can look at it, and then prompt engineering. By prompt engineering, I just mean, your ability to use these tools like ChatGPT, Claude for your purposes.
Hmm.
Another one thing that I would like to emphasize on, and that is what we call it as design thinking. So
Hmm.
design thinking is basically how you can break down a problem that you're facing into sequential steps that you can give to AI to solve your problem or
Hmm.
to help you expedite the process. So I
Hmm.
think prompt engineering also encompasses communication. So data literacy, communication, prompt engineering, design thinking, that is going to be the next must have job skills that every recruiter is going to look for in the market, public or private sector.
So, Mahanur, from the fall semester 2026, HEC has implemented, and it is mandatory for all the disciplines to include AI course in their curriculum. So, in this regard, do you think so? University should need to revise their curriculum for the students for the AI-driven technology?
Yes, I know it's a topic that is in debates every year, and I am a graduate of an electrical engineering. So when I graduated, yes, the university gave me the fundamental knowledge that I required to excel in my job, but I still had to learn a lot because there's a gap in the curriculum. I know we have these boot camps, we have these workshops, but there should be some changes that we should have in the curriculum across the different disciplines. So whether it is tech or whether it is non-tech. So when we talk about tech, we tell people how to develop the tool, how to do programming. But I think apart from that, we should also tell people what is data or AI governance, what is the responsible and ethical use of these tools, as well as product thinking. Because ultimately, everything needs to be translated into a product. How you can make your FIP into a product, how you can make your semester project into a product. So this is for the technical people. For the non-technical people, they're coming from social sciences, they're coming from business degrees. We should tell them AI fundamentals. I'm not talking about how AI works, but what AI is. So that when they search about these terms or when they are in a discussion about these terms, they do not feel overwhelmed like, I do not know what this means. I do not know what computer vision is. And then how to actually use these tools, whatever the tools can be, just like ChatGPT, Claude, any tool that is acceptable for their own domain, for their own workflows. Because if you tell them what it is, you are telling them what it is capable of. Because we think that it is a magical tool that can do everything when there's a limitation to it. So if you tell them what it is, I'm sure they will be aware of the fact that what it can do. And then you tell them how to use it for your own workflows. For example, for a marketing person, you can tell them how you can use AI to write a good branding strategy. Or for a science major, you can tell them how to do ethical research using these tools so that their time is less spent on redundant work and more on, the actual insight generation or that part of the workflow.
So, Manur, if you have time, may I ask you more questions? As Dr. Irfan asked me that you have to leave at 11:35 and it's been...
No issues. I think I can take a few more questions.
Okay, thank you so much.
No.
It is a pleasure to learning from you, and you are the first AI person I am engaging so much. Manur,
Thank you.
whenever I met any person related to the discipline of the AI and computer science, they are always busy in their on their computers. And they say, just provide us data. We don't know with any communication skills and any leadership and nothing, they have nothing to do with it. So as an AI specialist, you are quite a different person in the if I make a comparison from the other people's. So as a AI specialist, what do you think? So how important are the soft skills as compared to the communications, critical thinking, and leadership in the AI-driven, AI-related careers?
I think what I can predict, this is also the Anthropic CEO, they also said that the ability to communicate will be one of the most core skills in the coming years. So now AI can generate the code for you, it can do data analysis for you, it can do recommendations, it can make the presentation for you. Now the main thing is that what to do with the information that AI is giving you. So if you're not doing coding anymore, what you're doing. So you need to be even if you're in the tech landscape or even if you're in the non-technical landscape, if you do not have good communication skills, if you do not know how an institution works, any company that you're working for, as well as stakeholder management. I cannot emphasize enough on stakeholder management. How you're going to convince your manager, your boss, the MD of the organization, and even if you're pitching to an investor. If you do not know how to, I do not want to use the word handle, I just want to use communicate. If you do not know that, your the next billion-dollar problem will be in your phone and there's nothing you can do about it. So please work on your communication. It is not fancy English or vocabulary. I know we Pakistani think that if you're not having this British accent or British usage of words, we are not good. It doesn't matter. Use simple grammar, short sentences, but know how to communicate your ideas effectively. Because I think that's going to be one of the most important predictors of success in the coming years, because AI is definitely going to take over coding, development, and everything, then what you are going to do. So you need people to have this communication with multiple different people in multiple different ways.
So, Manur, that was really beautiful answer that comes from my heart as well. So, Manur, at the start of our session, I have given example of two, like driverless cars and the hospitals. So, we should always keep in mind that our country is underdeveloped and there is limited infrastructure. So, of course, I have provided only two examples, but there are many more examples. What do you think? So, what are the risks of blindly adopting AI tools while without proper organization readiness? So, what do you think? So, what are the risks of blindly adopting AI tools without proper organizational readiness? Our country is not ready. Our infrastructure is not ready, but we are blindly adopting all AI tools. And of course, the result would be maybe more worse as compared to as we are expecting our very positive results. So what is your opinion as an AI specialist?
So I think the biggest risk that we are seeing right now is if you do not have that organizational or individual readiness, is that we think AI is going to defaultly improve performance. So whatever AI is giving us, that's going to be the best and the only answer that there should be. So if we do not have that readiness, we are going to trust AI blindly. And when you trust AI blindly, because AI is again a technology, it has its own fault. I can tell you the first one. The first one is if you trust it blindly, sorry, there's the possibility that you are going to move towards wrong decision. Because if you do not understand how the model is working, if the data is right, you're just dumping everything on a tool. There's a chance that it's going to give you wrong decisions. Then if you're not understanding what are the ethical or the responsible use of it, there's a risk that you are giving private, confidential data of organization as well as yourself to the tool, which can be used for training purposes. The telco sector and the banking sector is heavily regulated. But if you do not give your employees the training how to use it ethically, there's a chance they're uploading the customer data on ChatGPT. I mean, just understand the magnitude of compliance or audit risk that we have. Then inherently these tools, if they're not locally made, they are inherently westernized. So there's inherent unfairness as well as biasness in these tools. So if you do not understand how to use these tools, there's a chance that you are amplifying the existing biasness of these tools. And then if you have compliance issues, if you have audit issues, if you are making wrong decisions, everything will be translated into financial loss. So everything, these bits and pieces, they ultimately lead to financial loss, either you having less revenue or you are incurring a lot of cost. So in the end, organizations, they do care about how they're performing. So yes.
Manur, in academics, I will present here only one example, academics. In academics, few decades before, writing a thesis, writing a paper, and that was not too much difficult. But nowadays, it is very difficult due to the privacy policy, due to the ethical values. So while now we are in a transformation phase, do you think so? Okay, organizations can use AI more responsibly while keeping in mind the protecting the privacy policy and ethical values. What is your opinion about it?
So yes, you I think there are two things that need to be done parallelly. The first one, at an organizational level, you need to have a data AI policy, not something fancy that is just giving the employees a guidelines as well as telling them the penalties in case of if they're violating any guideline. So this is the first one you need to develop before incorporating any tool. And then you need to understand that tools are going to be used whether you like it or not. How much you ban it, people are still going to use the tools. So a good approach can be that you train them. You encourage the use of these tools to an extent that you tell them that, for example, I can tell you one thing, students doing their assignments using ChatGPT. And now this is academically, that is cheating. So you cannot give someone the whole assignment and whatever answer they're giving, you're just, blindly writing it. So what you can do is, as teacher, as a trainer, because I also train students, you need to tell them you use these tools to understand the concept and then you try to solve the problem yourself just to so that you have that critical thinking and problem solving ability. Because if you outsource that to a tool, you might not be employable. So you tell people how to use it in a healthy way. You tell them what are the repercussions if you outsource the major part of it. And then I think you just enforce the rules to a bit and penalize. People are going to use it. In my experience, even if you ban it, people are going to use it. So might as well just encourage a healthy use.
Manu, in our institution, there is one more, nowadays, there is one more discussion. We are frequently doing it about the income inequalities. For example, every student is crazy about to get enrolled in the computer science department. So, as an AI specialist, do you think so? AI could widen more social and economic inequalities if not managed properly. As I have already discussed, there is a hype for the computer science department, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, how much it is important and how much it further creates inequality in the encourage and inequalities within the economy.
I think if we do not manage it carefully, the inequalities will widen to a larger extent. For example, if we talk about the two businesses, they're operating in the same industry, and the larger business, obviously, they have more access to these tools, they have access to trainings, and they also have financial capital to invest, as compared to a small business. So this is when we're are comparing to organizations. If we talk about students, so students maybe in some institutions, and that institution invests in them, they do the trainings, and the students are coming from marginally better economic backgrounds as compared to students who are not. So if they have access to these tools, if they have access to these tools at home, at the organization, at the universities, definitely they will be better off as compared to a student who is not. And then when we talk about the gender inequality, if women automatically in our socio-cultural dynamics, women tend to have lesser access to opportunities as compared to men. If they do not have these opportunities to use these tools, if they do not have the opportunity to experiment these tools, obviously they will be behind than people who are using these tools. So we have to lessen the gap. So what we can, it's right now, it's not about whether the tool is available or not. It is a problem about access. Who has access? So at this level, I think we can have minor interventions. We have these trainings, we have these pro bono workshops that a lot of development sector organizations are doing. But I think ultimately it is the responsibility rests with the government, whether through public interventions or public-private collaborations to give access. Because no single organization or person can give has that approach or access as compared to the government. So I think in the end, I hope that the government realizes, they are realizing, and we need to urge and request that if someone does not have access to these tools because of their socioeconomic background, I think they should not be penalized for that not having access. So yes, we are even seeing it at a country level. If Pakistan does not make the right interventions, we will be left behind, even as compared to India, who is investing a lot more in STEM education as well as the infrastructure.
Education. So Manu, now I have a last query. You will say Asma has opened up the large number of the questions for me.
No, it's fine. I'm enjoying it.
Asma is not making me free. So, Mahanur, if you recommend one AI tool, AI skill, what do you suggest to our graduates that they must learn in the next 5 years, and what would it be if you suggest?
I think a one-liner will be AI assisted problem solving. And that is that how you can use AI to solve your problems. At an individual level, yes, but as a professional level, whatever you're learning, whatever your field, then you need to know what are the tools that are available that can help you how. For example, I am right now working on a few AI products and I need to do documentation, I need to do workflow redesigning. And I take some tools and take help of those tools to see how my time can be saved. So do not fear the tools, and no one, I would request everyone that no one is judging you if you use these tools poorly. It's fine. We all learn by using. So the more you learn, the more you brainstorm. So think about it that, for example, if you have to make a report right now, how you can use it ethically and responsibly using AI. So that ability to do problem solving, because the tools they're going to come and go. You never know the organization where you end up with, which tool they encourage and which tools they do not. But if you know how AI can solve your problems, you know which tool to select. So AI assisted problem solving, AI is not going to replace you, it's just going to help you. If you take help, that's better for you because you are definitely going to be replaced by people who are using AI to help themselves.
So, Mahanur, thank you so much for your
I
guidance
enjoyed it. I
and
love the questions.
expertise. And we have learned from your perspectives.
Thank
And
you.
I hope you have opened up the new avenues of the critical thinking for our young generation. And I would also compliment you. You are looking so young, whereas as far as I know, you are an international trainer and you have trained so many not only national organization, but international organization as well. But I think it means the new generation is coming up with more energy and more. I think there are I think this is because of the AI driven technology.
It's impressive that women
Yes.
organizations are being conducted all these
Yes.
sessions.
So, Ms. Rehana, do you want to say something to, I think, to Ms. Mahanur as well?
It was very impressive session by you, Ms. Mahanur.
Thank you so much. I'm humbled.
As women are learning so much from you as the AI specialist.
Yeah,
Thank
you are a
you
sense
for
of
guiding us today.
Yeah, you are a role
And,
model for all of us. Now,
Thank
next time we will give it your example as well. We also know Ms. Mahanur as well. We also
no,
know
no,
Ms. Mahanur. So it means
no, thank you so
women
much.
are not weak. So,
Exactly,
so
yeah.
thank you so much, Mahanur.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Now I would like to invite our next guest speaker, Ghulam Shabir Saab. Ghulam Shabir Saab, yes, you are here. I can see. Ghulam Shabir Saab, you are associated with the policy and governance and digital transformation. And as far as I heard, you are also have devised the AI policy of the government as well. So, in this regard, would you like to introduce yourself in your own way? I think you can better introduce yourself.
All right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First and the foremost, thank you very much for having me for this very, very important session that actually dovetails into this Female Ambassadors Program. And I'm glad that your university has actually set up this very, very important session in order to support the objectives of the program altogether. And I'm humbly honored to be part of this effort in my own humble capacity. Thank you so much. So as for the introduction is concerned, it is very simple. I have been in the field from last 25 years, and it is mostly concentrated on policy design and policy analysis. Certainly, I mean, based on the research. And then there's a lot of digital transformation and adoption of emerging technologies like, for example, AI, quantum computing, genomics, as well as nanomaterials and metallurgical sciences and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, sir, now in this regard, if we discuss about the governance, and public service delivery. What do you think? So how do you see artificial intelligence is transforming and can transform governance and public service delivery in Pakistan over the next decade?
All right, this is very, very important question. And you see, from the perspective of governance, artificial intelligence has to offer a lot. Amidst all kind of the challenges, the problems, as well as the barriers, I would say, which are associated with the adoption of AI as a set of technologies. For example, aside those, challenges and barriers, AI has a lot of potential to improve upon the state of governance in a country like Pakistan, which is struggling with many, socio-economic development challenges and overall, public service delivery. So, having said that, currently the state does not look very positive. I mean, in terms of using AI for governance and public service delivery. However, with certain policy interventions as well as certain newly introduced regulations and regulatory bodies, like, for example, Pakistan Digital Authority, I think that Pakistan is slowly positioning itself as one of the key enablers for handling the governance and public service delivery through the amalgamation of technologies like, digitalization as well as utilization of AI at one level or the other. So this is the current state. As for the future is concerned, certainly the promise is really, really very high. And for countries like us, for example, we must be able to utilize the full as well as the overall, inherent potential of these technological mechanisms, because we can solve a lot of our problems with spending even less and with much more level of efficiency and with much more level of diligence, actually, because see, we are not a very, economically strong country. We are still struggling, and we will keep on struggling with our, overall economic growth and development, because of the overall, backlog that we have built over the decades. So for us, it is very important that we bring in the solutions with the support of technological, caveats that we have in the shape of artificial intelligence and other technologies that that help us introduce the technologies which are low cost, which are convenient to use, and which have a lot of promise for improving the public service delivery. So I will just take one example here, just to make my case through. And that is, say, for example, related to the education, right? So we know that we have fallen behind our educational indicators in many ways. We have a huge lot of out-of-school children, and we are also, mad with a number of challenges into our higher education domain as well. So if we can if we can bring in a concentrated and an integrated plan to use artificial intelligence as a key enabler, we can solve certainly the problems related to accessing these children who are out of school, improving upon the quality of learning and teaching, helping our teachers out there, especially in the secondary and higher secondary grades, to improve their pedagogical as well as communication and classroom management skills, to impart the necessary conceptual knowledge based on the curricula, and we can also help them improve the state of overall learning. Similar is the case with the higher education. So this AI can actually help us realign our overall developmental trajectory for the human resource, if we can really, really align it well with the objectives of human development or human capital development. And if there is a policy alignment between between the universities themselves as well as Higher Education Commission, and we need not to actually maintain these huge brick and mortar structures. And we have gone massively in terms of, establishing the universities and their infrastructure, very, very costly infrastructure. So we can certainly bring in AI and computational intelligence to improve upon the state of education delivery, personalized learning, overall improving the quality and the context of the higher education, and improving the state of, you were talking of, equity and equitable access. So we have all these opportunities. However, we need to be wary about the fact that we need to actually think louder, think broader, and think in terms of the future that we are aspiring for ourselves as well as for our kids and for the upcoming generations. Otherwise, I think that it will be yet again another gone bus. Like, for example, I mean, we have missed on the industrial revolution, we have missed on the fourth industrial revolution, we have missed on the information and computing technology revolution. So we could be at the verge of missing this intelligence revolution as well. However, we need to pull the trigger very right, and we need to bring in and all these thoughts at the policy level, and we need to integrate them at the most highest level. So that's how it will work for us.
Yeah, Ghulam Shabir sir, you are very much true. And if we take some corrective measures and some proactive measures, then definitely we can also improve our governance as well. Ghulam Shabir sir, in our academics, I also asked this question with the Mahanur as well. Although higher education of the Pakistan has made it mandatory for all the universities to include AI-driven course in their curriculum. But I don't know in the true spirit, and we are going to implement or not. So, as an expert in the digital transformation, what do you think? So, what are the biggest barriers to AI adoption in developing countries like Pakistan?
Ms. Asma, you have actually put in two questions within this entire context, and the first one is very dangerous question, especially I mean when it comes to myself speaking on this overall subject, and that is related to HEC and adoption of or a mandatory adoption of the AI course. So I am being a humble contributor and learner of the space of emerging tech as well as its adoption in the higher education. I mean, I have researched this area based on my own personal interest, not with regards to some funding or not chasing some likes on the LinkedIn or some conferences. I have actually researched this area very well at my own interest and with my own funding. Right now, one-liner answer. There's a huge we need to actually organize a whole lot of conference around this subject. But one-liner answer is that I was not expecting such a level of professional, disgrace and professional non-integrity from a body like Higher Education Commission of Pakistan to just, mandate 1 3-hour course for all the, concerned which are actually passing through the higher education degrees across Pakistan. So this really, really tells me a lot about the overall mindset that we are associating with the adoption of AI, especially when it is coming to the higher education. You see, now what we are missing here, we are not trying to understand as a fraternity, as academia, as well as a regulator of the academia, that this AI is such a big menace that it has swallowed in all the knowledge which has been generated or which will be generated in any form so far. So it is actually the new inflection point of history which we are dealing with, and our universities have no experience altogether across the globe actually to actually handle this kind of a depth of a technology or a computational power that is actually lying in the hands of our learners, our teachers, our researchers, as well as administrators and the boards of the universities, right? So saying this and passing through one notification like this is really, really telling me that how are we trying to handle the overall adoption of the artificial intelligence as a computational power, as well as an enabler or as a game changer for our country, for our nation, and for the Human Development Index that we are actually struggling with, and we are actually far behind now many African countries, right? Now, so this is to me no notification, and this is to me no state of affairs, right? Then what's the solution? Universities need to actually talk to their highest levels, and they need to involve their syndicates, their boards, as well as their other bodies and whatever they have been lined up so far. Because if we are not going to take up these measures seriously, then we are seriously making a case for ourselves on lagging behind the overall, standardization and the rankings and everything that we, are fond of, So even institutions like THE, as well as other ranking bodies like US rankings, for example, they are struggling with the thought process realignment, that how are they going to, re-rank or establish a re-ranking in the age of AI. And this is a debate which every university, every forward-looking university, like, for example, Oxford and many others in China and other parts of the world, they are actually, referring to this question, and they're doing very, very, serious deliberations around this entire aspect. Now, as for the second part of your question, yes, we have a lot that can be offered by this technology in terms of adoption, but we then have to see that how we make that adoption happen. So the companies operating in the private space, like, for example, Claude, as well as ChatGPT, and their introducers and their movers and shakers, as well as their sponsors. Now, they have introduced free, prompting, as well as, free infrastructure, AI infrastructure related, adoption related, courses for countries like UAE, for example, past 1 year. So how can we get this support from these companies? So this is a question for us. So the space is open. The private sector is willing. The overall OEMs, I mean, the original equipment manufacturers, or the original technology introducers, like Palantir, like ChatGPT, like Claude, for example, like Gemini, they are very open, and they want universities and the institutions like universities to come forward and adopt to their technologies. They are willing to provide huge lot of free licenses, but now it is upon us that how can we, capitalize upon these opportunities. Yeah.
So, sir, now we can moderate this question. Of course, Higher Education Commission is taking some initiative for the improvement, but maybe I don't know these initiatives, as you said, in the real sense would be improvement or not. We can moderate
No,
this.
there are no other initiatives in the space of AI, and I'm telling you this solemnly, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, how can organizations balance technological advancement with ethical and human governance? Because, on the one side, internationally, there is technological advancement, but on the other side, in Pakistan, we are doing things manually. So how we can make organizations take balance of this?
You see, again, Ms. Asma, this is a huge question, and it is challenging all the philosophers, all the technologists, and all the change makers so far we are actually seeing on the block. And again, the answer actually goes back to the universities, which have been and which are actually the breeding ground of the overall development thought process across various disciplines and the fields. Now, on one side, we have tech advancement, and on the other side, we have ethical adoption. So tech adoption or tech advancement, it is something which is actually a case of economics for the economies, for the industries, and for the societies, right? And we know that how how determined economies, societies, and industries are to make an economic way through for them, and make for themselves, through technologies like AI, as well as other emerging technologies, a case for them to maintain their economic, as well as their other sovereignty, which is actually associated with the nations. Now, so this is one thing, and based upon this race, these companies, or these industries which are producing or which are consuming AI and other emerging technologies, they are knowing no boundaries towards the ethics and ethical compliance and ethical adoption of these technologies. So it is all fancy language jargons that they are using, or other bodies which are responsible around the globe, like for example UN, like for example other UN associations. So they're just trying to um, trying to beat around the bushes while introducing these fancy jargons of ethical or human-centered adoption of these technologies. So there's nothing like that actually on that side, because it is actually pursuing their sovereignty and as well as the concerns or the advantages related to their overall economic growth and development, right? Now, if we are really, really interested to bring in these technologies in a humane way, then actually university is the place where it has to start across the globe. I'm saying not the universities of Pakistan, not universities of China, across the globe. Universities have to come together because universities have that power of forward-looking intelligence and thinking through various disciplines, which can guide the policymakers, the initiators, the enablers, the introducers, and the overall owners of these technologies and patents. Universities can only guide them to the right path, that how can they bring in a very well knitted framework which is acceptable across the globe, in order to use these upcoming technologies in most humane and most ethical manner. Because I'm telling you solemnly, based on my research, that everybody across the globe is confused, and there are three crystal clear blocks which I'm seeing. So we have a China block and other Asian countries block. We have this European block and we have a US block. These are the three clear-cut blocks that I'm seeing with regards to the overall sovereign specific or sovereign backed and economic growth centric adoption and overall spread of these technologies across the industries. And most of their legislation, most of their regulation, policy, as well as the thought process, overall thought process around AI's humane adoption is divergent actually. So we are at a very, very dangerous conjuncture, and I would again say that universities have huge responsibility in this entire space, other than just getting into fancy research papers and going down there to the fancy meetings and other conferences like that. So universities need to bring in these serious people, these associations, these national bodies, and they must equally be able to voice themselves, and they must be able to spell out clearly to this entire fraternity that, okay, if there is no well-knitted framework, then what we have seen during the war in Iran, what we have seen during other AI-led or AI driven blasts and loss of human lives. So this is just going to be it is going to be a norm then for the humanity in the years to come actually. So that's my take on this.
Yeah, Ghulam, you have explained it very clearly, and that is really helpful for our economy. And at this point, Dr. Ghulam Shabir Sahab, I have an opinion. This is the time our economy should prepare our young researchers for impactful policy solutions. So, as a AI expert, what do you think? So, what qualities our young researcher and policy makers should develop to transform our society in a very correct way?
You see, first and the foremost thing, that research on your own problems. We need to research on our own problems, right? And we need to get out of the mindset of discipline-specific research. It is transdisciplinary and it is interdisciplinary. The world is in a pure confluence state. There is no linguistics, there is no philosophy, there is no computer science, there is no metallurgy. It is all growth, development, societal development, human development. We have a lot of problems at our own, and we need to think through these problems. And again, universities have to play a lot of very positive role in here, and I'm referring to the universities here in Pakistan. We need not to get bogged down by the fancy frameworks as well as by the fancy networks which are actually presented to us within our universities to our young people. Most of the people are leaving. Those who leave for higher education, seldomly they come back, or they want to come back. We need to keep this thing in an enabled, structured, and indigenous problem solving mindset. So this is the mindset that we need to inculcate, and universities has to do a lot in this space. We need to make this generation believe in Pakistan, believe in working for Pakistan, and creating an enabling environment for them to work here and to stay here in Pakistan. So that's how I see this.
So, sir, for students, what would you recommend as specific skills they should learn because I was also discussing with Manu that nowadays there is a craze. Every student wants to get enrolled in the computer science, and they have I don't know, this is a misunderstanding or what. They said if we get enrolled in computer science, they will get job immediately. So that's why this is the imbalance.
This is no misunderstanding. We have consciously reached to this point, Ms. Asma. Let's be very honest to one another. Universities have played a role. Our society has played a role. Parents have played a huge role. The place where you are sitting, it is actually the University of WA, as well as the surrounding industry across the University of WA. It is actually the heaven for securing long-term, highly paid and secure jobs. So we have done it actually. So nobody has done it right now. As far this student development is concerned, we need to equip them with the right thought at first and the foremost thing. You see, we need to help them think through rightly. We need to help them shun away this entire psychological as well as economic distress which they pass through once they compare themselves within different fields. So universities can again do a lot here in this space, because again, I'm saying this is basically a transdisciplinary and interdisciplinary world that we are already in. If we are not helping the students to work together across the disciplines, across the problems, we will not be able to help them learn for themselves and learn for their future, right? And in doing so, we need to encourage them that they should start believing in themselves. They should be at a psychological comfort to pursue the degree of their interest. But then we should be able to counsel them that how can they pursue their dreams while pursuing their overall passion and pursuing what actually interests them. Now, this is our job, as universities, as mentors, as institutions. We need to then bring in. So how will we then bring in? We need to harness the power and potential of the entire infrastructure we have put in place all together. We have set up consular offices. We have set up ORIX. We have done so many things. We have bought a lot of money from, bodies like the World Bank. We need to enable this. Otherwise, it will not happen.
Ghulam Shabir Sahab, your discussion is really inspiring, and our economy really need experts like you. My co-host, Ms. Rehana Ali Naqvi, wants to say something to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Ghulam Shabir Sahab, for your enlightening discussion on policy, governance, and AI transformation, and your insights, especially into the role of digital system in strengthening the innovation ecosystem, was highly thought-provoking. Thank you for your time once again.
So, Ghulam Shabir Sahab, now as the time is short and our Dr. Irfan Hussain Sahab last time was also getting annoyed, and this time again it happened. Dr. Irfan sahab, again महंगाई तो नहीं हुई, लेकिन again you have shortage of time this time again. And as per
नहीं
my commitment, I am again here at, this is 7th May, and I am here again. I am very strong in my commitments, you can see. But anyways, you can apologize as again you have only 15 minutes for discussion. I welcome you.
ओके 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 थैंक यू जजाकल्लाह और आई वाज सो हैप्पी मैंने आपसे रिक्वेस्ट भी की थी कि ये दो कोलीग्स हैं मैडम मानूर और जो मेरे बड़े अच्छे दोस्त और एक सीनियर भी हैं गुलाम शबीर साहब मैं बेसिकली इनको सुनना चाह रहा था और मैं इनको काफ़ी देर से सुन रहा था और वो होते हैं ना कभी कभार मैं हमेशा बैक बेंचर रहा हूँ तो हमेशा वो स्टूडेंट खुश होते हैं कि अल्लाह करे आज मेरी बारी आए ना और सबके मैडम सबसे सुन लेंगी टेस्ट वाला हो जाएगा और गुलाम शबीर से जैसे जो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं ना वो काफ़ी अच्छा सुना रहे होते हैं तो हम लोग ना पीछे छुप के बैठे होते हैं कि अल्लाह करे आज मेरी बारी ना आए तो आई वॉज सो हैप्पी 12:15 मुझे निकलना था एक मीटिंग पे तो मैं चाह रहा था कि 5 मिनट और लेंगी और मेरी जान छूट जाएगी लेकिन खैर आई वॉज सो हैप्पी कि मैंने
Yeah, I'm
गुलाम
sorry,
शबीर साहब
Irfan
को
sir,
सुना
for making it a little long. I'm sorry for that.
और नो 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 और बिलीव करें कि मैंने मैडम साहब से रिक्वेस्ट की थी कि आप मुझे स्किप कर दें और इनको ले लें क्योंकि ये लोग basically they are working with academia they are working with the governance or they are working with the policy implications थोड़ा सा मंतक समझे आई कि मंतक है क्या पीछे चल क्या रहा है हम तो सब भाग पड़े उसके पीछे एआई के पीछे और हमने देखा नहीं कि हो क्या रहा है और हमें जैसे बुरा लगाता है किसी काम पे तो हम आंखें बंद करके भाग पड़ते हैं वो नहीं देखते कि अच्छा क्या है बुरा क्या है एक यूनिवर्सिटी ने बीएस डेटा साइंस स्टार्ट किया था और हर यूनिवर्सिटी ने आंखें बंद करके उसके पीछे भाग पड़ी किसी ने ये नहीं पूछा कि ये स्टार्ट करना था नहीं करना क्या जरूरत है क्या जरूरत नहीं है गुलाम शबीर साहब से अक्सर औकात बात होती है और वो होती है ना दिल की बातें हम छेड़ बैठते हैं कि हम इस पे करें क्या यूनिवर्सिटी एकदम से पीछे भाग पड़ी कि हम डेटा साइंस के पीछे भाग पड़े और डेटा साइंस का ये था कि अभी तक मार्केट कंपेटेबल हुई नहीं है उसके साथ मार्केट को पता ही नहीं था कि डेटा साइंस के साथ करना क्या है स्टूडेंट जो बीएस का करके जाएगा वो कहाँ का जाएगा इकोनॉमिक्स वाला वो भी डेटा साइंस के साथ कर रहा है और जो मैथ वाला है वो भी कर रहा है डेटा साइंस के साथ इंजीनियरिंग वाला कंप्यूटर वाला वो भी कर रहा है हर बंदा कहता है कि ये मेरा सब्जेक्ट है वो कहता है मेरा सब्जेक्ट है जब मार्केट में जाते हैं तो मार्केट वाले कहते हैं कि हमें डेटा साइंस वाला चाहिए तो आगे इकोनॉमिक्स वाला भी जाता है कहता है मैंने भी डेटा साइंस किया कंप्यूटर वाला कहता है मैंने भी किया है और जो इंजीनियरिंग वाला मैथमेटिक्स वाला वो कहता है मैंने भी 4 कोर्स पढ़े हुए हैं जॉब किसी को नहीं मिलती जॉब मिलती है आपकी स्किल बेस पे तो मैं यूनिवर्सिटी से बार बार हम लोग यही कह रहे थे कि आप लोग जो बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीज सो कॉल्ड बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडी मादरत के साथ जो विदाउट एनी प्रिपरेशन हो रही होती है और जिसकी देखिए जब तक आप मार्केट के साथ ओरिएंटेड नहीं होंगे ना मार्केट के साथ आप कंपेटेबिलिटी नहीं होंगी आपके सब्जेक्ट्स की वैल्यू नहीं बनेगी ये हाल वैसे ही होगा जैसे सर गुलाम शबीर साहब आप मेरी बात के साथ एग्री डिसएग्री कर सकते हैं जैसे इन्होंने स्टार्ट किया था अ, ये एग्री इकोनॉमिक्स का कोर्स फिर डेवलपमेंट इकोनॉमिक्स का कोर्स और इसी तरह कुछ मिले जुले बिजनेस बिजनेस इकोनॉमिक्स के कोर्स बिजनेस इकोनॉमिक्स अब ये तीनों के तीनों कोर्स ऐसे कोर्स थे डेवलपमेंट इकोनॉमिक्स के कोर्स ऐसे थे कि जब स्टूडेंट अप्लाई करके जाता था मार्केट में तो वो कहता था कि मेरी एमएससी एमफिल पीएचडी डेवलपमेंट इकोनॉमिक्स में तो उसकी कंपेटिबिलिटी में आता था डेवलपमेंट इकोनॉमिक्स आता कोई एग्री डेवलपमेंट का आता था तो वो कहते थे कि ये डिग्री तो मेरी है ये कहता था नहीं ये डिग्री मेरी है तो देखिए एचईसी ने भी इसको सीधा नहीं किया और यूनिवर्सिटी ने तो बिल्कुल इसको सीधा नहीं किया था और जान किसी जाती है स्टूडेंट की जाती है इसी तरह बिजनेस इकोनॉमिक्स के साथ भी ये हुआ कि वो ना डिग्री इकोनॉमिक्स की रही थी ना वो बिजनेस की रही थी इसी तरह रिसोर्स इकोनॉमिक्स के साथ भी हुआ तो ये चीजें डेटा साइंस के साथ भी इन फ्यूचर स्टूडेंट को मिलेंगी जो काफी यूनिवर्सिटीज अभी तक इसको देख नहीं रही सिर्फ यूनिवर्सिटी जो है वो अपने आप को सेव करने के लिए कि हम एक नया डिग्री प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं मैं सब यूनिवर्सिटीज को यही कह रहा था कि आप अपने जो कोर जो इकोनॉमिक्स है उसको पीछे ना छोड़ें उसको साथ लेके चलें उसके अंदर अमेंडमेंट कर लें वो ठीक है लेकिन अपने डिग्री को चेंज ना करें डिग्री को सेम रहने दें वो जो आपका प्योर इकोनॉमिक्स है उसको सेम रहने दें उसके अंदर अपने सब्जेक्ट में इनोवेशन लाएं, एआई लाएं, मशीन लर्निंग, पाइथन, जो भी आप करना चाह रहे हैं वो करें, ताकि स्टूडेंट तो सेफ रहे ना। अब स्टूडेंट बेचारे को नहीं पता कि वो मार्केट में जब जाएगा तो उसके साथ क्या फेस करना पड़ेगा। तो ये एक ओवरऑल चीजें हैं। मैडम आपने सवाल तो पूछा
तो
नहीं है,
हाँ जी
मैं तो
सर,
अपनी।
तो सर आप मेरा आपसे क्वेश्चन है कि डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर का आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या रोल हो सकता है प्रमोटिंग एंगेजिंग, अगर हम खास स्पेसिफिकली वुमेन्स के बारे में बात करें, वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में, कि डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर क्या रोल प्ले कर सकता है। अब जैसे जो वुमेन डेवलपमेंट सेंटर है पंजाब, तो हमारा काम कर रहा है, हमें नजर भी आ रहा है, हम खुद इसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे हैं। इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे हम चाइना पाकिस्तान 75 ईयर्स के रिलेशनशिप को भी ले आए हैं, हम लोग एआई ड्रिवन कोर्सेज को भी ले आए हैं। तो आपको क्या लगता है डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर ओवरऑल, अगर हम पाकिस्तान लेवल पे बात करें, क्या रोल प्ले कर सकता है?
मैडम साहबा, इसमें आपका क्वेश्चन बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है, और फीमेल के लिए ये भी ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। ओवरऑल पॉपुलेशन भी फीमेल की है, और पंजाब लेवल पे देखें या पूरे पाकिस्तान में देखें, जो फीमेल को और वीमेन को, अगर मैं कहूँ कि जो सबसे बड़ा जो एक इशू आ रहा है वो एक ट्रस्ट लेवल का आ रहा है, चाहे वो गवर्नर साइड से हो, चाहे वो डिपार्टमेंटल साइड से हो, चाहे वो प्रोफेशनलिज्म साइड से हो। सबसे बड़ा जो ट्रस्ट लेवल है वो जब तक हमारी वीमेन को नहीं होगा, ये अच्छे तरीके से परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाएंगे। इवन फ्रीलांसिंग अभी बहुत ज़्यादा मार्केट में इन है। जितना काम ज़्यादा यूरोपियन का काम, अफ्रीका का काम हमारी वीमेन कर रही है, हमारी बच्चियां कर रही हैं, कोई भी नहीं कर रहा। हम मार्केट को बहुत ज़्यादा कम्पीट कर रहे हैं, हमारा बहुत ज़्यादा रेमिटेंस फ्रीलांसिंग के थ्रू आ रहा है। देखिए, हम इकोनॉमिक्स में एक टर्म पढ़ते हैं, फॉर्मल इकॉनमी और नॉन इनफॉर्मल इकॉनमी, जिसको हम सादा लफ्जों में कहना कि जो इलीगल इकॉनमी थी उसको हमने इनफॉर्मल इकॉनमी कह दिया, ये आपकी समझ के लिए। और जो लीगल थी उसको फॉर्मल इकॉनमी हमने कह दिया। फ्रीलांसिंग जो है वो, या तो इसको आसान वर्ड्स में कह दें कि ये इलीगल है और इसको इनफॉर्मल इकॉनमी में हमने नहीं कंसिडर करना, तो फिर तो बात ही खत्म होगी। अगर इसको फ्रीलांसिंग करवानी है तो इसके कोई रूल रेगुलेशन, कोई TORs, वो गुलाम शबीर साहब माशाल्लाह इस चीज़ में गवर्नेंस में बहुत ज़्यादा महारत रखते हैं। इन्होंने बड़ी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, बड़ी बड़ी जो इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं, इन्होंने अपनी फीडबैक दिए हैं, और इन्होंने चीज़ें सिखाई हैं, सिर्फ बताई नहीं, सिखाई हैं इन चीज़ों को। तो मैं उस गवर्नेंस बॉडीज में नहीं जाता। मैं सिंपल ये कहता हूँ कि फ्रीलांसिंग को आसान कर दें, ताकि जो हमारी बच्चियां हैं, जो हमारी वीमेंस हैं, जो एक इज्जत की रोजी कमाना चाहती हैं, वो कमा सके। उसके TOR डेवलप कर दें। बिलीव करें कि आप सिंपल अपना जो एक अकाउंट है, वो फ्रीलांसिंग का, वो आप किसी भी बैंक में ओपन नहीं करवा सकते। ठीक है, ये बाकी बातें मैं नहीं करता कि आप ये कर लें वो कर लें। आप जब तक उसको सिस्टमाइज ही नहीं करेंगी, तो वो आप लोगों का काम आसान नहीं हो सकेगा। एक बच्चा कैनवा पे थोड़ी सी मेहनत करके थोड़ा काम करता है, फ्रीलांसिंग थोड़ी अर्निंग करता है, तो उसको अकाउंट खोलने में इतनी प्रॉब्लम होती है कि उसकी पेमेंट डूब जाती है, पेमेंट फ्रीज हो जाती है। तो जब तक आपकी फ्रीलांसिंग के का जो TORs डेवलप नहीं होंगे, उसकी गवर्नेंस आसान नहीं होंगे, उस वक्त तक हम नहीं कहते कि आप लोगों का जो एक डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर है, जो आपका जो वीमन है वो डेवलप कर सकेगी। ये बहुत बड़ा एक रोल है जो हमें सीधा करना पड़ेगा। सेकेंडली,
तो
जी
अ,
प्लीज।
जी यस सर, यू कैन कंटिन्यू, यू कैन कंटिन्यू।
अच्छा, ये हो गया। और सेकेंडली देखें, अभी मैं अपने दोनों रिस्पेक्टेड स्पीकर से मैं सुन रहा था, अ, हमें अभी एक स्किल पे तो रहना नहीं है, हमें इमर्जिंग स्किल पे जाना पड़ेगा। ये वर्ड मैंने गुलाम शबीर साहब से ही सीखा था। इमर्जिंग ट्रेंड, इमर्जिंग स्किल्स।
Skills, yeah.
कोई बंदा ये नहीं कह सकता कि आप ये स्किल सीख लें और चुप करके बैठ जाएं अगले 5-10 सालों में।
Yeah.
ये कोई भी नहीं बता सकता। ठीक है, डेली बेस पे इतनी चीज़ें वेरिएट हो रही हैं कि अभी ChatGPT जो 3 से स्टार्ट हुआ था, 3.0 से, अब वो 5.1, 5.2, और कल हमारी कोलीग से बात हो रही थी कि वो इससे ऊपर जा रहे हैं। तो 5.2 ChatGPT जा चुका है, इससे ऊपर वर्जन में जा चुका है। तो इमर्जिंग ट्रेंड, इमर्जिंग स्किल्स नहीं सीखेंगे तो हमारी सर्वाइवल नहीं है। यूनिवर्सिटीज़ को रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट में माशाल्लाह उसका पूरा नक्शा हमारे दोनों कोलीग ने पहले पूरा खींच लिया था, मैं उस पर डिबेट पे नहीं जाता। रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट से आगे जाना पड़ेगा। अब रिसर्च प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट देनी पड़ेगी। अगर वो अपने स्टूडेंट को, अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी को सरवाइव करवाना चाह रही हैं तो RPD करवाना पड़ेगा, रिसर्च प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट देनी पड़ेगी। प्रोडक्ट क्या है? इमर्जिंग ट्रेंड्स है, इमर्जिंग स्किल्स हैं जो स्टूडेंट को सिखाने पड़ेंगे। और वो स्किल्स ABC नहीं है, आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स है, आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स है। मैं अभी देख रहा हूँ कि यूनिवर्सिटीज अभी तक स्टूडेंट को वो असाइनमेंट्स पे लेके बैठी हुई है। आई वाज इन फैसलाबाद यस्टरडे, हम एक पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट कॉलेज में एक सेशन में थे, तो मैं वहाँ देख रहा था कि अभी तक टीचर वो स्टूडेंट को असाइनमेंट दे रही थी कि आपकी 10 मार्क्स हैं, आपने ये असाइनमेंट लिख के लेके आनी है। और भाई किस दुनिया में फिर रहे हो यार? दुनिया चांद पे पहुंच चुकी है, चांद से उससे हम आगे पहुंच चुके हैं और हम वहाँ सरवाइव करने का सोच रहे हैं। अभी हम लोग वो 5 मिनट और वो 10 जो मार्क्स की असाइनमेंट पे बैठे हैं। ये किस चीज का डिप्रेशन है, किस चीज की टेंशन हम स्टूडेंट को देना चाह रहे हैं? हमें इससे करिकुलम से बाहर निकलना चाहिए। करिकुलम पे गुलाम शबीर साहब ने बहुत बड़ा लिटरेचर लिखा है, आप इनको स्टडी करेंगी तो आपको अंदाजा होगा कि करिकुला पे सबसे ज्यादा काम गुलाम शबीर साहब ने गवर्नेंस बॉडी पे लिख चुके हैं। तो वो सबसे बड़ी यही बात है कि आप इन चीजों को देखिए। इमर्जिंग ट्रेंड जब आ रहा है तो आपको खुद से थोड़ा सा इमर्जिंग होना पड़ेगा, वरना वो चीजें नहीं सही हो जाएंगी। आप असाइनमेंट पे बैठे हैं 5-10 वो मार्क्स की असाइनमेंट्स पे, वो आपको ही पता है कि स्टूडेंट ने ChatGPT से लिख के ले आनी और आपने भी वहीं से चेक करके देना है। इससे आगे निकलना पड़ेगा अगर आपने स्टूडेंट को वाकई ही तैयार करना है। यूनिवर्सिटीज ने देखिए एक होमवर्क देना है, एक तैयार करना है बॉडीज को। वो तैयार करके जब तक मार्केट में नहीं भेजेंगे वो स्टूडेंट कैसे सीखेगा? मार्केट तो पहले बहुत ज्यादा फ्लक्चुएट हो रही है, हमें नहीं पता कि आज क्या हो रहा है, नेक्स्ट क्या होने वाला है, नेक्स्ट क्या होगा, कौन कौन से ट्रेंड कैसे कैसे चेंज होंगे। तो वो चीजें आप लोगों ने पहले तैयार करनी है। तो ये चीजें हमें सिखानी पड़ेगी, यूनिवर्सिटीज को पहले बिल्डअप करना पड़ेगा कि पहले वो अपने अपना किबला मादर के साथ उनको सीधा करना पड़ेगा, फिर इसके बाद वो आगे चलेंगे। जी प्लीज।
जी, इरफान इरफान साहब, आपकी बातें बिल्कुल हमारी इकोनॉमी के मुताबिक है। हम अगेन एंड अगेन हमने आज डिस्कस किया है कि आवर इकोनॉमी इज इन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन फेज, इज इन अ डेवलपमेंट फेज, वी हैव सेवरल चैलेंजेस, वी हैव नो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो वो बहुत आपको उसके लिए बहुत ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट, आपको बहुत कैपिटल आपको उसके लिए चाहिए। डॉक्टर साहब, मैं लास्ट आपसे क्वेश्चन लूंगी, टाइम हमारे पास बहुत शॉर्ट है। आई एम रियली सॉरी अगेन, फिर भी इस दफा आपके लिए वक्त नहीं बचा। खैर, एनीवेज, लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, व्हाट आर द मेन चैलेंजेस फेस्ड बाय द वुमन एंटरप्रेन्योर फ्रॉम अ डेवलपमेंटल सेक्टर पर्सपेक्टिव? आपको क्या लगता है, आपको क्या लगता है, क्योंकि आप तो डेवलपमेंटल प्रोजेक्ट्स भी करते रहते हैं, आप ज्यादा बेहतर तौर पे हमें बता सकते हैं कि वुमेन्स को, क्योंकि हम तो यहाँ बड़े शहरों में बैठे हुए हैं, रावलपिंडी, लाहौर, कराची, इस्लामाबाद, आप तो पूरे पाकिस्तान में घूमते फिरते रहते हैं, आपको क्या लगता है वुमेन्स को ऐसे क्या मसाइल हैं खास?
देखें, मैंने भी कुछ देर पहले भी ये कहा कि सबसे पहले जो है ना वो ट्रस्ट का फुकदान है। वीमेन काम करना चाहती हैं, चाहे वो रूरल एरिया की हैं या डेवलप एरिया की। अब मैं ना एरिया को डिफाइन भी नहीं करता, अब ये चीज़ें भी खत्म हो चुकी हैं कि आप देहात में बैठे हैं तो आप काम नहीं कर सकते, शहर में बैठे हैं तो ज़्यादा काम कर सकते, ये डायमेंशन भी अब खत्म हो चुकी है। कुछ चीज़ें हमें मान लेनी चाहिए और कुछ चीज़ें हमें माइंड से निकाल देनी चाहिए। कुछ महरूमियाँ हमने खुद से पाल ली हैं कि आज सर्दी है तो काम नहीं करना, गर्मी है तो काम बिल्कुल नहीं करना। ये चीज़ें हमारी जो है वो हमारे पास में नहीं है। 75 साल से हम इस मुल्क को देखते आ रहे हैं। ये मुल्क में बहुत ज़्यादा पोटेंशियल है और ये अब हमने देखना है कि इसको डिग आउट हमने करना है कि इसको हमने यूटिलाइज कैसे करना है। हमने अपनी ज़ात का दिया जलाना है और इसी जो एक जो महवर है इसी के अंदर रहते हुए हमने चीज़ें और रास्ते तलाश करने हैं। वो तलाश हमने करने हैं। वो अब हम देखते रहेंगे कि पॉलिटिकल पार्टी या ये हमें चीज़ें पूरी तैयार करके देंगी या हमें कोई डिपार्टमेंट तैयार करके देगा, तो ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। ये आपने चीज़ें खुद से देखनी है और यहीं से सितारे निकलेंगे। आप देखते हैं, देखेंगे कि देहात से लोग काम कर रहे हैं, शहरों से लोग काम कर रहे हैं। ये चीज़ें खत्म हो चुकी हैं कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं था, बाकी चीज़ें नहीं थी। लोग जो काम कर रहे हैं वो इतना दूर बैठ के भी काम कर रहे हैं, डेजर्ट एरिया के अंदर भी बैठ के लोग काम कर रहे हैं, शहरों के अंदर भी काम कर रहे हैं। ये चीजें अब हमने खुद से देखनी है, अपने आप को डेवलप करना पड़ेगा। हम डेवलप नहीं कर पा रहे हैं मादर के साथ, मैं बार बार, हमारी चीजें वहीं से शुरू हो रही हैं वहीं पे खत्म हो रही है। हम तैयार नहीं कर पा रहे अपने बच्चों को, हम तैयार नहीं कर पा रहे अपने जो आने वाली जनरेशन है उनको तैयार करेंगे इमर्जिंग ट्रेंड पे, इमर्जिंग स्किल्स पे। तो ये बच्चा इंशाल्लाह जब यूनिवर्सिटी से निकलेगा तो वो यूनिवर्सिटी का नाम तो रोशन करेगा, साथ साथ मुल्क का नाम भी रोशन करेगा। वीमेन के लिए यही है कि उनकी राहें आसान करें। हुकूमत पंजाब काफ़ी ज़्यादा पहले भी इनिशिएटिव ले रही है, और भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा काम कर रही है वीमेन के ऊपर। उनका काफ़ी ज़्यादा जो इनिशिएटिव्स हैं वो काम चल रहे हैं। सिर्फ उनको एक ट्रस्ट लेवल का इशू है कि वो ट्रस्ट लेवल आसान हो जाए, तो माशाल्लाह ये हमारे स्टूडेंट काफ़ी ज़्यादा काम करना चाह रहे हैं और काम हो भी रहा है। तो और कोई भी इशू नहीं है। सबसे ज़्यादा जो ट्रस्ट लेवल है, गवर्नेंस साइड से एक ट्रस्ट लेवल है, मार्केट लेवल में ट्रस्ट लेवल है। फीमेल को वो रिस्पेक्ट नहीं दी जाती जो एक मेल को दी जाती है। मेल डोमिनेटेड सोसाइटी स्टिल अभी तक है, तो वो थोड़ा सा स्ट्रीमलाइन हो जाएगा तो माशाल्लाह हर जगह पे काम ये करना चाहती हैं और काम हो भी रहा है।
Thank you so much, Dr. Irfan. As we have shortage of time, I think today we cannot open up the question and answer session. Directly, we would sign off, with your permission, we would sign off today's session with the permission of the 𝐒𝐵𝐵𝐷 Shabir Saab for your time. So, sir, as we come to the end of today's insightful session, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all my distinguished speakers like Mahanur Salman, Dr. Ghulam Shabir Saab, and Dr. Irfan Hussain Khan Saab. You know, this is really my real feelings that we have learned from the guidance and expertise of our guest speakers, and we have learned from their perspectives. And I hope that this is my opinion that they have opened up the new avenues for the critical thinking, but I think my participants and Ms. Rehana also has had the same opinion.
Yes.
So, and I think, Ms. Rehana, there is a need to invite such experts in our university as well to guide directly from. We need to learn.
Awareness,
Yes, we need to learn from their experience in a very right way. So, here. Today's discussion on digital transformation as a catalyst for the women-led innovation and startup has truly highlighted the importance of the shared challenge, such as our lack of the infrastructure and our investment, and also critical thinking in a very right way. So I also would like to once again acknowledge the support of the Chief Minister of the Punjab and the government of Punjab for making this initiative possible. So I also extend here special thanks to the leadership of the University of War, because they are encouraging the female faculty and staff of the University of War to actively take part in these initiatives. So a special thanks to the students and faculty of the Department of Economics and to all the administration of the University of War for hosting and organizing this event. And especially thanks to the IT department and the media department of the University of War for smooth conduct of activity and the arrangement. And next time, inshallah, I will also arrange some tea arrangements for here for our IT department as well. So
much needed for them.
Much needed for them as well. And this is their patience in 1.5 hours. They are here and listening to us. So a special thanks to the supporting institutions as well. And this event attracted a diverse range of the academic institutions, organizations, and our professional bodies. So we hope today's session enriches our understanding of the challenges and opportunities surrounding digital transformation as a catalyst for the women-led innovation and startup. Today, I have also one more announcement, and I also would like to share with my participants that today Women Development Department of University of War is organizing its 9th activity out of the 10 target levels of the activities, and they have organized in a very short period of time. Just hardly in the 2 months. I started my journey at 8th of March, and today is 7th of May, and it is the end of our 9th activity. That is truly a remarkable day for not only for the Women Development Department, but also for the Department of Economics, and also for the University of War. So there is one more announcement that on the 12th of May, we are coming to the Rawalpindi Arts Council along with the team of Women Development Department to share and celebrate our success with the government of the Punjab. So with this, we conclude today's workshop. And thank you all for your participation. Stay safe and have a wonderful day ahead. Now I would like to forward this session to the Ms. Rehana Ali Naqvi, and I request her for the formal signing of the session.
Thank you, Dr. Asma. On behalf of University of War, I extend sincere gratitude to our worthy Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Jamila Nabi, Director Auric Dr. Amjad Hassan, respected deans and our esteemed guest speakers for their valuable time and presence. A special thanks to Chief Minister Punjab Female Ambassador Punjab and Women Development Department Punjab for their support in making this event possible and successful. We also thank all participants for their active engagement and valuable contributions. We hope today's session enriches our understanding of challenges and opportunities surrounding digital transformation as a catalyst for women-led innovation and startups. Thank you and have a nice day to all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
Allah
Thank
Hafiz.
you. Thank you.